Good evening to you all. Oh, Lord, excuse the noise. I was just upstairs fixing up a little potion. Well, you know how hard it is to find that bicorn horn dust this time of year, so I made a little substitution. Oops. Oh, well, my name is Larry Potter. I am the American cousin to that very famous English wizard, Harry Potter. You all know who Harry Potter is, don't you? Well, I should hope so. Anyway, I was born and raised in Camden County, on a farm with my grandpapa and my granny Potter, and my mama Margaret. It was a really nice childhood, but it was kind of lonely. My greatest joy was to sit there and listen to stories that my mama would tell me about my famous English cousin, Harry, and all the adventures that he'd go on with his two friends. Well, do any of y'all here know the name of his two friends? What's the name? Go ahead. Hermione and Ron, that's right. That's right. Oh, I'd sit there and dream for hours as she'd tell me these stories. You know my grandpa, he'd walk in and say, "Margaret, you stop filling that boy's head with such nonsense." Well, I knew it wasn't nonsense. I knew that Harry Potter was real, and that one day I might actually get to meet him. But I didn't know how. Well, let me tell you all a story. It all started when I was milking the cow Pansy with my grandpa in the barn. Well, now, the name of the cow came from my grandpa's mother-in-law, Pansy Petunia. He named it herself. Well, see, no, because my granny thought that it was a real nice compliment to name the cow after her mother. But my grandpa pulled me aside one day and said, "Boy, I just want to let you know that the real reason I named that cow Pansy is because the cow is mean as a snake, dumb as a dumb door, and she smells to high heaven just like Pansy Petunia." Well, anyway, we was milking Pansy, the cow, and we were sitting there, and this little yellow jacket came along and lighted and stung her on the behind. Well, Pansy went crazy. She started running every which way. Her eyes were all crazy, hollering and a-hoofing. And she started running right towards me. Well, I didn't know what to do. I'd never been attacked by a cow before, so I just stood there. And the cow came up right close to me. And in the background, my grandpa, I could hear him saying, "Get out of the way, Larry, get out of the way. Oh, Lord, you are dumb as you look, ain't you, son?" And that cow came up to me. But just as it got close, I felt this calm come all over me, this sense of quiet. And I wasn't scared no more. And the cow came this far away from my face, and it stopped dead in its tracks. And it said to me, it spoke to me clear as a bell, "Why, Larry Potter, as I live and breathe, I do believe you have the gift." The cow talked to me. Well, my grandpa, he didn't hear it. He just came up to me and he said, "Well, Larry, ain't that something? I thought for sure you was a goner, boy. Wonder what got into old Pansy over there." Well, I knew what got into Pansy, and I knew right then and there that I was going to go to Hogwarts and I was going to meet Harry Potter. But I still didn't know how. Well, let me ask you all a question. Do any of y'all here know the occupation of my mama's uncle, Francis J. Cox? Anybody? He was a pharmacist, you darn tootin'. And he sent my mama a letter the very next day saying how he wanted me to come down here to Elizabeth City and live in this very house and work in his pharmacy. Seems he had heard all the good stuff about how I'd been so good in chemistry class. Well, I said, sure. And I packed up my things, said goodbye to my friends and family, and came on down here to Elizabeth City. Oh, now you, sir, did you ever see J. Cox Pharmacy? No. Oh, well, if you had, you would have seen quite a sight. There was a full laboratory in the back for pharmaceutical needs, and a whole ice cream bar with every possible flavor that you could ever want. And I set to work making a potion to make myself fly. Of course, there were lots of mishaps that happened, like the time there was this big puff of smoke, and this gigantic calico cat appeared out of nowhere and jumped up on the counter, and you know, he refused to leave till he ate 16 pints of ice cream. Well, you've gone to the pharmacy, I'll bet you would have seen that, sir. Well, anyway, I finally made this potion. And one night, on Halloween night, I crossed my fingers, drank down the potion, and said, "Goodbye, Elizabeth City. I'm going to England." And do you know where I finally landed? Yes.
Albemarle Hospital.
Oh, God, I hope not. No, ma'am. I got to Hogwarts. And I landed right in the middle of the Gryffindor table. And there was Harry Potter directly across from me. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there and stammered for a minute. "Well, what would you say if it was Harry Potter right across from you?" Well, finally he spoke to me. And you know, he said the very same thing that Pansy had said. He said, "Why, Larry Potter, as I live and breathe, I do believe you have the gift." And then he welcomed me as a fellow wizard to Hogwarts. And I spent 3 glorious days there with him and his friends, doing all sorts of things. We explored Hogwarts, visited Hagrid, played tricks on Muggles. He even let me ride his Nimbus 2000. But then I could feel the potion start to wear off. So I said goodbye to everybody at Hogwarts and came on home to Elizabeth City. Landed with a plop in my bed up there. Yes, sir. Ever since then, I've been trying my hand at magic, but I don't seem to be quite as good as I thought. I guess I don't have quite as much of the gift as old Harry does. But every once in a while, maybe on a Halloween night, you can see me flying across the Elizabeth City sky. Oh, golly, I better get back upstairs and clean everything up before them Thompson folks get home. Well, you all have a nice night. You enjoy your ghost walk and have a happy Halloween. Good night.
Good night.